Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. As I mute my own mic, welcome to Flight Simulator X Steam Edition. Should be some fun. I haven't done this in a while. Kind of rusty on it. Been doing a lot of GTA, some American truck here and there. But we're going to give this a shot. Currently, in the Irish F-15 Strike Eagle. The game itself uses the CPU more than it does the graphics card. But you will see that I do have some updated graphics on everything and everything else. So for that, let's see. I'm trying to remember buttons. Give me just a second. Work with me here. There we go. So, we're in the Strike Eagle. Everybody's seen it. We know what it does. We know that it's very fast, very badass. Let's light the fires. Full military. We'll pull back on the stick a little bit. Rotate. Pull the gear up. Let's just do an unrestricted. In 3, 2, 1. Pull it up. The Strike Eagle is capable of doing this. It's a very beautiful plane when it's up in the air. We'll go ahead and back down military, kick off the burners, and level on out. And we'll go back into cockpit. Right now we're at 10,000 feet and still climbing, doing 568 knots. This is what it looks like on the inside. See a couple of... we're up here in Alaska. It's the air base that this jet is actually out of. This particular jet. I cannot remember the exact name of the base, but this is where we're out of. Looks beautiful from up here. It's all white and snowy like. And that being said, take a look on the inside. Everything looks pretty standard for an F-15. If any of you guys have ever been in one or seen one up close, it's kind of pretty standard. I am waiting on Punisher to join me. He is supposed to be flying with me tonight. Last I heard, he was eating dinner. Lazy man. Right now we're about half throttle. You can kind of see how fast we're going if you look closely. The numbers on the right indicate your altitude, or in military terms, angels. So right now we're at angels 150, or I'm sorry, angels 15. Over on the left side, that is our speed indicator. We're doing 600 and just say 600 knots, just to be safe. We're at half throttle right now. If I do bump it up, you will see that it does lean back on its own. Lights the fires, and we continue on through 600. And there's 700. And there's Mach 1. So now we're traveling faster than the speed of sound. Beautiful thing, beautiful thing. We'll kick back down on the throttle. We'll go on the outside of the plane, kind of take a look on the outside. As you can see, everything does work. Everything moves. We can rock her back and forth. We can pull her up and down. We can even do a little bit of rudder action. If I light up burners, you will see everything opens up. Burners ignite, and we're gone. Now the burners do burn fuel a lot faster, which allows us a lot simpler and easier to get up to speed. So what we're going to do is we are going to kick on the burners once again. You'll see them light. Beautiful, beautiful view of the wonderful Alaska mountains. And for the hell of it, let's just pull it on back. We should start to hear that stall indicator kicking on any time now. It'll tell me warning, warning. Do. It's not going to do it. We'll go ahead and roll back around, and we'll flip around. Kill the burners. We'll go 0 throttle. You hear them spooling down. And it looks like we're dropping down Moline 500. Let's go ahead and kick that up. We can look at the gauges, kind of see what we're doing. There's system there. Everything looks good. That's autopilot, actually. Right now we're coming through Mach 1.1 ground speed. So that tells us that. That's what we're looking for right there. So GPS kind of gives us a heads up on where we're going, where we need to go. So GPS 500, you can program different things in there. A lot of the team that I fly on, we are known as the Tiger Team Southern Command. We do use this quite a bit for when we're doing long flights or we got to go out and intercept a carrier, so on and so on. I tend to leave it up quite a bit just so I can see where I'm at, where I'm going. Right now we're at just below 20,000 feet at 370 knots. We are going to go ahead and boost up the throttle just a little bit more just to have those engines purring, just to keep us up in that float. Now looking at the GPS, we are coming up on an airport. I'm not quite sure which one that one is, but we're going to go back and we're going to try to land this bird. Like I said, it's been a while. I can see our air base there. She's lined up. Go ahead and throttle on back. We'll go ahead and get lined up with her. We are at 20,000 or 15,000 coming through 15,000 feet. Our Angels 15. Now we're at Angels 14.5. So calling that in, you know, when they tell you to military terms, when they tell you proceed Angels 15, you're going up to 15,000 feet, so on and so on. Little brother's a pilot. He could probably tell you a hell of a lot more about it than I could, as far as commercial goes, or even civilian. I do not have a military background. I am very fond of military planes. My favorite being the F-14D Super Tomcat. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful jet. I'm also very fond of the SR-71, both which are no longer flown, unfortunately. The SR-71 is no longer flown, quote unquote, supposedly. We'll see. Come within, let's see, Angels 8.5. Go ahead and drop her down some more. Fuel's at 88%. So that's where we're sitting at for that. Go ahead and drop the gear. Now this plane is kind of different as far as like what I've noticed on this model, for instance, is when I kick the gear back up, you'll actually see the front inlets raise up and lower down. And that's going to be to allow airflow to come in or out, so forth. Or restrict airflow, I should say. Gears down and locked. Zoom in on it. Alright, looks like we've got lights on the runway going. Didn't drop the flaps. I do believe I did drop the flaps. I just want to double check. Oh, wrong button. Oop, wrong button. Ah! Flappy's no dropping? Alright, that should be interesting. Go ahead and tap on that speed brake just a little bit to slow us down a little bit more. Don't want to come in too hot and heavy. We're at 0 power right now. So we'll go ahead and kick it down even more. And continue to slow us down. Let's take a look at that wonderful avionics. Yeah, I hear you. You hear them yelling at me already. Alright.
Too low. Flaps.
Yep. I hear you.
Sink rate. Too low. Flaps.
I tried to hit my flaps, but you guys wouldn't let me drop them. There we go. I hit the deck about one. Let's give her some brake. We're off a little bit more than what I'd like. Military jets do not have reverse thrusters. That is the downside, so it's all about brakes, speed brakes, and dropping everything to produce drag. As you can see, my flaps are fully extended. My speed brake is up, so I am slowly coming to a full stop. There you go. We're on the ground. It's a beautiful thing. Let's make sure we're raising up everything. There we go. We don't have an air traffic controller. It's the unfortunate thing. Hopefully we'll get one here shortly. We're going to go ahead and go out to the end of the runway out here, spin her around, and maybe get back up airborne. May pause for a quick minute. May switch out planes. You know, a couple other things that we may do. I did just get through doing about an hour and 5 minute long LSPDFR live. Episode 3 is on the books now. 3 episodes in, I'm very proud. Do got some things in the works with that. Spin around, and let's not play the tipsy toppy, and we're going to. Flight sim logic, ladies and gentlemen, flight sim logic. Funny thing is, I'm in F-15, so I can do this, power out. Don't ask.
Don't sing.
It's
Don't sing.
it's flight sim logic.
Don't sing.
Oh, that's awesome. So we are back up airborne. Right now, we're going to switch it off a little bit. We're going to go... Let's go someplace nice. Someplace without snow. Do some quick maintenance real fast. Please. There we go. We're trying to do some quick maintenance. This is the downside, is when you have a lot of aircraft in your files, it takes it a little bit to open up. Once we get it up, we'll take a look at something. You know, we'll kind of take a look at the aircraft and see what we got going on. So we'll start. I do have the super tanker, the 747 from Evergreen. It is a beautiful big bird. It is a retardant dropper. It's used out in California quite often. I love it. I got a couple of F-16s. They're pretty awesome as well. Some Augusta E-101s. Not bad helicopters. Do got the Airbus A400M. I do like flying it. However, this model is kind of a quote-unquote sketchy model. Doesn't like to work sometimes. Of course, you got the stock aircraft, the Air Trike, the Beech Baron, Bell 206. Got a bunch of paints for the 737. The group that I do fly with, we mostly do military flights. So we do a lot of that. A lot of the aircraft I do use are military based. Matter of fact, excuse me. Let's see. This is one I definitely use quite often. It's a P-8 Poseidon. It's a Sub Hunter. Beautiful plane. Flies fantastically, flawlessly. Let's see what else we got going on. Got a couple 747s. Of course, the infamous and famous Air Force One. Something I really enjoy flying. This weekend, the air show is here in Rome, Georgia. And they are supposed to be displaying this wonderful thing. And I do believe it's actually going to be from Mississippi Air National Guard. They're going to be displaying and flying the C-17 Global Master 3. An amazing, amazing, amazing transport for the military. Also, the Blue Angels, they're going to be there. This is the default F-18 Hornet, as well as the default CRJ. I do have the Sierra Sim UH-60 Blackhawk. Got a couple of different paints for it, as well as the excuse me, man, the U.S. Coast Guard model, the L.A. County Fire model, which is an awesome model, and the last one is definitely not least, Marine One. Of course, everybody, you know, it's very recognizable around the world. Marine One is any designated Marine aircraft or / helicopter that the president is in, just like any Air Force jet is designated Air Force One when the president is in it, no matter what. Got a couple extra 300s. They're all stock. Everything is stock. The Grumman E2 Hawkeye. It's an early warning AWACS bird for the U.S. Navy. It does land on the carriers. Best one, I mean, I absolutely love this plane. I mean, with a passion, of course, Top Gun. Everybody sees it. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. It is the F-14 Tomcat. This is the A model. It's not a bad model itself. I do have the B model, and I don't know if the D is on here. Just the B model. The one that I do fly, typically when we are flying, depending on which one we do, I always fly the Jolly Rogers. Skull and crossbones. Gotta love it. On the back it does say Jolly Rogers. Grummer Goose, this is the F-15 I was just talking about. This is the one I fly. It's from Iris. Fun plane to fly. Gets up and goes. I've got a ton of those. My most favorite plane of all that is on this game is the C-130 Hercules. It's a heavy transport. We have them here at Dobbins Air Force Base, just south of where I'm at. Absolutely love it. They fly over the house all the time. They fly over numerous job sites that I work on. Hopefully this big guy will be here this weekend for the air show. I know last one they had a static one on display. It didn't fly at all. It does fly, but it didn't fly out of there per se while people were there. But hopefully we will get to see Fat Albert fly. This will be the first time my son's seen Fat Albert and seen the Blue Angels. We did see the F-16 demo team from the U.S. Air Force last year. Amazing, but these guys, I mean, absolutely love them. Most people don't know it, even though the C-1 or even though the U.S. they are called the U.S. Navy Blue Angels. The C-130 is actually operated by the U.S. Marine Corps and is a group of Marines that fly it. There are, I do believe, 2 Marine pilots in the F-18s. The rest of them are naval pilots, but the pilots that do fly the C-130s are all Marine pilots, Marine crew, and everything else. The things back here, this is the JADO assist. They used to do it on Fat Albert, but that program has since disappeared in a sense. The JADO rockets are very, very, very expensive. The C-130 program did have it for a short field takeoff, and what it would do is it would allow the C-130 to get up in the air a hell of a lot quicker than any other plane that we had. There are 8 rockets strapped to the side of a C-130. There was another program to make it short field, and I've lost connection with the server. That's awesome. There was another one that did that, but they had it on the forward, and that plane... They did it once and they lost it. So that's that. You have the Coast Guard C-130. Love that one too. It's another plane I like to fly, but I like to fly it when I'm doing fire missions. Firefighter X is out for Flight Sim X. It's a fun little add-on. You can actually put out wildfires and everything else. This is the P-3 Orion. I love it. It is a sub-hunter for the U.S. Navy, but it is also used as a turboprop to drop retardant and water. A lot of people don't know this one. This is a YF-23 Black Widow. This particular plane is from Milviz. It's an awesome, awesome aircraft. I love flying it. But this aircraft was, when it first came out, it was actually going against the F-22 Raptor for the United States Air Force. And, of course, as most of us know, the F-22 did beat this thing out. But this thing has some extras that the Raptor does not. This thing is capable of higher flight and faster flight than the Raptor, which is kind of hard to believe because that Raptor is a bad plane. The F-5E, the Tiger, fun little plane. Northrop Grumman developed this one. This is the RQ-4 Global Hawk. It's a high-altitude reconnaissance unmanned aircraft. It's used for recon. They did have one that I believe they strapped a couple of rockets to, but it stays up high mostly. You'll never see it. You'll never catch it. Currently in battle for the Air Force for their fixed-wing, I believe it's ground attack? I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me. But it's currently being tested with rockets and everything. The T-6 Texan from Beechcraft. Awesome plane, man. I love flying this thing. It's very agile, very quick. It gets up in the air. It is a turboprop. A lot of fun. An absolute lot of fun. And another plane. When I just feel like messing around and screwing with people, if I'm on a server or whatnot, I'll use this. It's the FA-37 Talon. This is from the movie Stealth. It is a fictitious aircraft. It does not exist. It is similar and based off of the YF-23 Black Widow and the way they designed it and everything for the Stealth movie. Couple of different things is that the intakes are up on top and down on bottom, where the Black Widow, they're down on the bottom. These wings do expand out when you raise or when you lower the flaps. The wings do come out, and it actually makes it look like an aircraft, where this, it does not look like an aircraft. I've had it up to about 1,800 miles an hour at about 80,000 feet. So again, fictitious aircraft. It does not exist in the world. But right now, unfortunately, I think I'm going to shut down the stream because Flight Sim seems to be acting a little silly with my... we do have a 24-hour dedicated server, and for some reason it seems to be acting kind of silly. Tonight, I'm not sure what's going on with it. I got to get with our tech guy and find out what's going on. If any of you guys fly with us or want to fly with us, we're always 9 times out of 10 in the Tiger Team Southern Command as it disappears off the face of the earth. Network lost connection. That's awesome. So that's where we're at. We do have a TeamSpeak. You guys are more than welcome to come and fly with us. That is me, Reaper. Of course, you guys know me as Officer Reaper or Tiger 5-1. Tiger 2-4, he's our other master admin. We are coming back. This is us. I mean, we're here. Here's our address. Come on and see us. 66.70.254.167:1938. Guys, it's been fun. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to fly tonight. Server's just acting up. I'm going to, like I said, have to get with our tech guy and see what we got going on. Maybe we'll do some more LSPDFR, or we'll do some American truck. But as it says for night, Flight Sim, unfortunately, is going to be canceled. I'm glad you guys can at least come with me and fly for a little bit. I was hoping to get another little flight in there with something different, kind of show you around a little bit more. Take you maybe to Patrick Air Force Base, where, you know, I spent a good time in my adulthood in Central Florida, so I know kind of about the rounds and the areas and that. So hopefully we'll see you on the next episode of LSPDFR, or we'll see you on the next episode of American Truck Live, or even Flight Sim Live. You know, we're going to try to do it a lot more. I appreciate you guys' patience. Sorry we could not get on and fly tonight. Like I said, hopefully we'll get it back on. It's Tiger 5-1 signing off for the night.